Hello there, a very good evening to you. You're live here on GHOne TV. It's time for News Tonight with me, Natalie. Let's take a look at our top stories. Coming up this evening, guardian accused of inflicting burn wounds on private part of 7-year-old girl for bedwetting rearrested after GHOne news report.
Because I always wet the bed.
Also coming up, OSP concludes that GRA SML contract was needless as he announces plans to charge former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and former GRA.
The outcome of the investigation is that the OSP will charge the following persons with various corruption and corruption-related offences before the end of November 2025.
Also ahead tonight, fire razes China City Mall in Kumasi, destroying goods and properties. Ahead in business, Vice President Professor Nana Jane-Opoku-Agyeman touts Ghana's fiscal gains as a reflection of discipline, not the miraculous. On the international front, U.S. time in 6 years, raising hopes for a de-escalation of tensions to resolve major trade issues. We bring you the details of these stories and much more news here on News Tonight. Do stay with us. Let's settle for the details now here on News Tonight on GHOne TV, streaming live all across the world on X at GHOne TV. Top on the bulletin this evening, a guardian accused of inflicting and Botox. She reportedly warned young Amina not to disclose the horrific incident to anyone or face worse. A concerned community leader is said to have reported the matter to the Kotobabi police station, which led to the arrest of the alleged perpetrator, but was later released after pressure from Amina's father and grandmother to settle the matter at home. Here is GHOne TV's Nadima Umar Uthman with the reports that led to the rearrest.
7-year-old Amina Abdul Fattah bears scars no child should ever endure. Severe burns allegedly inflicted by her guardian, identified as Aisha. As punishment for bedwetting, Aisha reportedly heated a spoon over a coal pot, pinned Amina down, muffled her screams, and pressed the hot metal onto her private parts, upper thighs and bums.
She bends me because I always wet the bed.
Amina's mother says her daughter was warned never to tell anyone, but her secret pain was discovered by a teacher at school, which led to a concerned community leader to report the case at the Kotobabi police station, leading to her guardian's arrest. However, the case was later dismissed after Amina's father and grandmother allegedly pressured the community leader to withdraw the case, insisting that the matter would be settled within the family.
When
it happened, they wanted to cover the matter up, but some neighbors came to my daughter's rescue and rushed her to the hospital.
But the 7-year-old's ordeal stretches back years. After her parents divorced, her father took her away as a baby, passing her from one home to another before she ended up with her current guardian, Aisha, who lives in Mamobi, Accra.
She threatened her that she shouldn't tell anyone, but the severity of the injuries alerted the school authorities.
Her mother, Salamatu, insists she only found out about the incident after a local imam mentioned it during a sermon that went viral on social media. Women and children's rights advocates are now questioning how the police could allow the case to be dismissed and the child returned to those accused of harming her.
It was first sent to Nima police station, and then they redirected them to Dovsu, I believe, in Kutubabi, and they forced him to take the case out. And he told me that he was forced to sign the docket or something so that the case will be taken out of the police station. Now, both the police and the family, because the police was telling him he's not family, and that is where I'm I don't understand. I'm confused. So I want this to be cleared. Dovsu is there to protect the rights of the child, and a crime was committed and it was reported. And now you are saying because the father didn't come to report it, you took the case out. So who is to protect the child?
For now, 7-year-old Amina is recovering from her wounds, while her mother Salamatu continues to fight for custody, justice and a safer future for her daughter. Reporting for GHOne News, I am Nadima Umar Uthman.
Very concerning developments there now. Do note that her guardian has been rearrested following this report done by Nadima Umar Uthman on GHOne TV, and will continue to engage with police following the rearrest for more on it subsequently. You're watching News Tonight here on GHOne TV. Let's turn to some other top stories this evening, as a fire has broken out at a Chinese shopping mall located at Santase Star Junction near Santase Roundabout in Kumasi on Thursday afternoon. The cause of the fire remains unknown, but eyewitnesses say the blaze started shortly after 3 p.m. Firefighters from the Ghana National Fire Service have since been deployed to the scene and are working tirelessly to bring the situation under control. Thick smoke could be seen billowing from the building as shop owners and residents looked on helplessly. It is not immediately clear whether there have been any casualties or the extent of damage caused by the inferno. Authorities have cordoned off the area to prevent further congestion as emergency teams battle the flames. Some nearby businesses have been temporarily closed as a precautionary measure. Mayor of Kumasi, Richard Ofori Ajiman Bwedi, who was at the fire scene, has been called for private water tanker services support to bring the fire under control.
If you have a water tanker anywhere that can be brought to Santase and instead, please rush, be in a hurry, bring it to assistance. We are coming with what government has provided, but that will not be enough for us to speedily deal with it. But there are other properties behind this facility that we have to protect. If we have lost this one, we should not lose the other ones, and it will depend on the preparedness of the firemen that will help us be able to prevent those houses from being attacked. As you see, there's a lot of firemen here, and once we assist them with the right logistics, we'll be able to manage the situation. So those of you who have access to logistics, let's make an emergency appeal to them for them to bring their water tankers here so that they will assist us.
Now, let's stay on this issue a while longer. We've been joined by our Ashanti regional correspondent, Isaac Justice Bediako, for more. Isaac, it's been 2 hours since the fire was sparked at this China City Mall. What more can you report on the incident? Do you have any information so far as per what might have led to the fire?
Well, Nadima, according to the some of the staff at the mall, the fire started around 3 p.m. one day. Noticed that part of the roof was full of smoke, and so they tried to extinguish the fire with fire extinguisher that they have in there, but it was getting out of control. Meanwhile, their colleagues have already placed calls to various fire service officers within Kumasi to come and assist them. And so they waited at a point they were helpless; they couldn't do anything. And so whilst they were waiting for the firefighters to come, then the explosion started, and so they had to leave the facility and come and stand outside. And so when they arrived, there was nothing they could save, and so they just have to struggle to contain the fire so that it doesn't spread to other facilities around. And so that was what they actually managed to do. At the moment, they've been able to bring the situation under control. What I mean is that the fire has been contained, so it's not spreading to other facilities. However, the entire mall is completely down, And this mall is full of inflammable materials, furniture, mattress, among other things that they sell in there. Nothing they were able to, save from this particular fire. And so when the mayor of Kumasi in particular came to the scene, he was actually, he didn't know what to say. So the only plea that he quickly called the media and told the media that we should announce on our various platforms that at the moment the situation is getting out of control. The fire tenders that they have in the city cannot fight the fire alone. And so tanker services around Kumasi, he called on them to come and assist them with water so that they'll be able to contain the situation. So at the moment, they've been able to contain it, but the structure is still burning because of the materials in it.
Right.
No casualty has also been recorded at the moment.
Very well, Isaac. I was about to ask you if we know whether there was anyone caught up in the building when it happened, but you say no casualty has occurred.
Yes, please.
Isaac, thank you for the update there. We'll certainly engage subsequently for more following that incident. Isaac Justice Bediako, our Ashanti regional correspondent. You're watching News Tonight here on GH1 TV. We'll bring you more news shortly. You're welcome back to News Tonight here on GHOne TV. And some more top stories this evening. The Ghana Armed Forces has assured the public that it will not tolerate or protect any soldier found guilty of assaulting civilians following the arrest of a soldier captured in a viral video attacking 2 individuals at a pharmacy in Burma camp. The footage shows the perpetrator dressed in civilian clothes, and he's seen slapping both victims during a heated confrontation. The incident, according to sources, occurred after the officer in question demanded a refund for a medication worth 65 cedis, which the attendant refused, now citing the store's no policy return. The man then physically attacked both the attendant and the customer. Here is the owner of the shop speaking to GHOne TV. We'll bring you that exclusive interview between the owner of the shop of the pharmacy and GHOne TV. However, the Ghana Armed Forces in a statement confirmed that the soldier, identified as Warrant Officer Class 1 Williams Mensah, was arrested by military police personnel at dawn. Meanwhile, the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana has condemned the assaults, demanding an immediate prosecution. Well, let's stay on this issue a while longer. We engaged with a security analyst, Emmanuel Kutin, on this matter. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us here on News Tonight. Now, very disturbing incident there. And yes, we've had the military respond to this. In addition to the internal disciplinary measures being taken by the military, what more do you expect to see? I mean, are you hoping that we have some form of a state criminal investigation conducted following this incident? Mr. Coates, good evening. I hope you're hearing me.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you perfectly. Please go ahead.
Okay. Can you repeat what you said? I wasn't hearing you then.
Right. So I was asking that following the Ghana Armed Forces speaking about this, addressing this issue and the internal disciplinary measures to be taken, do you think that's sufficient, or would you sort of expect to see some state criminal investigations in addition to this, given the incident that occurred?
Well, thank you for having me, and very good evening to your cherished listeners. When incidences of this nature happen, we are in a democracy and the military works quite differently. They will put a board of inquiry in place to investigate the incident. And don't forget, this gentleman is a warrant officer. So the board will recommend whether he should be reprimanded, reduced in rank, or altogether dismissed. And given his rank as a WO1, there will not be any mean a rank than a general that will sit on the inquiry. So what the Ghana Armed Forces have done is swift, and it means that they will not tolerate any form of misconduct. And if you look at the officer in question, this is not the first time he has misbehaved in this particular manner. Some few years ago, when he was the bodyguard to OJ, the then commander of the Air Force, he assaulted a driver on the street in a similar manner. And the commander at the time did away with him, and he was transferred to Tamale. He was reduced in rank, and he has to mark time, and it's only 3 months ago he was given the WO1. And given that he operates from the office of the presidency, he works at the office of the chief of staff, many expected a lot of professional standards from him. But it brings something to the fore. And I think as a country, we need to start this kind of conversation. We have to look at the psychological needs of our troops. This is clearly a mental health issue. I think the soldier really needs help. So the challenge is that who helps soldiers like this in this kind of situation. I wouldn't go with the grandstanding with what many Ghanaians are trying to portray on social media.
Right.
As if
now, Mr. Coton, I mean, it's a key point you mentioned. It's a key point you mentioned in terms of paying more attention to the psychological state of our people in general. But does that somewhat not come across as making an excuse for him? I mean, he is a military officer of a level of sound mind, which is why one would assume he's been employed to this level. So he should generally operate with some sense of well-manneredness in spite of his emotional, psychological state. So is that not a bit of a stretch?
My dear sister, you see, more often than not, there are many of us in suits who clearly need help. If we speak to our troops, there are a lot of psychological stress they go through and they have nobody to speak to. I'm not holding brief for this soldier at all. What he did is so despicable, it's unprofessional, and it goes against the professional standards of the Ghana Armed Forces. At the moment, he's in the guard room, and this is the second time he's offended in a similar manner. So we are watching closely to see what happens, whether the military will ask him to voluntarily retire or they will set up a board of inquiry. And when they sit on the matter and he's found culpable, he could be put to guard room for 90 days. And by the military standards, if you are put in a guard room for 90 days, you are almost as good as sacked or gone home. And these are the things we need to look at. But however, it reveals some patterns. And as a security analyst, I don't just want us to focus on the incident. I want us to look at some of the underlying conditions that give rise to some of these things. He may not be alone. Just last week, if you watch social media, a driver was assaulted by soldiers in similar fashion around the Michel camp. So we have to holistically look at these things and provide solutions and to prevent its occurrence. They are more often than not talking to these issues and nothing happens. So I believe that in this instant case, this soldier will go through the necessary military disciplinary procedure. Right. At the same time, the people he assaulted, especially the lady who is a civilian, who was a customer, was trying to calm him down. And because he was taking video of him and he got angry and pounced on him, there are other remedies the civilian can use through the civilian court to press charges against the soldier.
Mr. Emmanuel Coton, thank you for your time and insight this evening. A security analyst joining us following that developing story which broke on GHOne TV. Let's turn to some other news now. The Bono Regional Police Command has interdicted some officers captured in a viral video allegedly taking money from motorists. The command says an investigation has been launched to ensure a thorough and impartial inquiry into the incident. A statement signed by the Public Relations Officer Chief Inspector Thomas Akila reaffirmed the service's commitment to maintaining professionalism and accountability within its ranks.
The Sampankoko Highway in the German district serves as a lifeline for hundreds of farmers and traders who transport cashew and other produce daily. But for many, the stretch near Dwebuso has become a source of fear and frustration. Residents allege that police officers stationed at the checkpoint have turned the post into a money-making venture, demanding bribes from motorists and commuters before allowing them to pass.
I'm my receipt. Yeah, my receipt. Say, me draw. May I down say,
so second team beba omo gina wa ka cha omo so omo frɛ omo no omo wa ha no je o sheket no and omo nim
sa I'm in picture. I'm stop me my cash.
Why Yeah, yes, I don't know what it.
Yeah, no, Eva.
Anyway, Cote d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire.
According to information gathered, the alleged extortion network is believed to be operating under the German North Police Command. Teachers, health workers, and peasant farmers say they are routinely harassed and intimidated, and in some cases detained for refusing to pay legal fees.
Okay. Don't touch me.
Where's your handcuff? Masa,
okay.
Where's your handcuff? Where's the handcuff?
So, which one do you want me to?
Where's the handcuff? Take the handcuff, my friend. How dare you? You are taking for yourself. You are told you say who?
Hey, I have my staff in here.
Don't bring yourself here. Don't bring the handcuff. What do you mean? You are told for yourself. You are taking message. What do you mean?
Residents insist several complaints have gone unanswered, and they now want the Inspector General of Police, the Interior Ministry, and the Bono Regional Security Council to investigate the matter and bring any culpable officers to book.
Obia is who protecting the panel. We are just exerting authoritarian rule on people. Did you even hear my side of the story?
I'll listen to my.
Yeah, you will listen to your one. Of course, that's what you do.
Where you told him that he can't do anything to you.
Oh, when was that? When was that?
You were telling
me.
You
see, you are not even being truthful.
Oh, how will I lie?
How would you lie? That's just a blatant lie, because I didn't say that.
Lying?
What you said is a lie. It's a blatant lie.
Okay.
So live here on News Tonight, we bring you Insight next. On Insights this evening, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, is set to press charges against several individuals implicated in the controversial revenue assurance contract between the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, and the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, SML, by the end of November 2025. Those expected to face prosecution include former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, current and former Commissioner Generals of the GRA, as well as GRA officials and former technical advisor at the Ministry of Finance. The special prosecutor also announced plans to recover a total of 125 million Ghana cedis from SML following findings.
The outcome of the investigation is that the OSP will charge the following persons with various corruption and corruption-related offenses before the end of November 2025. 1. Kenneth Nanayao Ofori-Atta, former Minister of Finance. 2. Ernest Akori, Chef de Cabinet to Kenneth Nanayao Ofori-Atta as Minister of Finance. 3. Emmanuel Kofi-Nti, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. 4. Amishadai Owusu-Amoah, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. 5. Isaac Krenzel, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority and General Manager of Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. 6. Kwadwo Damoah, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority and Member of Parliament for German South constituency. As part of the process, the OSP will seek to recover the financial loss caused to the Republic from the persons listed above. Also, the OSP will recover a total amount of 125 million cedis from SML by way of a disgorgement of unjust enrichment of overpayment by the return of the benefit of this amount it obtained unfairly at the expense of the Republic. This amount was arrived on two considerations. First, the participation of SML in the public revenue assurance regime was based on largely undeserved automatic payments detached from performance. Second, the figure was adjusted on a quantum meru basis. This is a legal doctrine that developed the English common law as a form of implied contract or quasi-contract to ensure that the person who conferred a benefit on another received compensation, even when no valid contract existed.
And on the extradition of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, the special prosecutor has hinted that processes to facilitate his return to Ghana have been finalized.
March of 2025, we had collected all the evidence that we needed to aid in the prosecution of this matter. However, two things were outstanding. One, we needed official verification of a lot of the items that we had intercepted, especially in respect of communication. And this required the input of our major foreign partners. Indeed, the packet arrived on Monday in validation of what we had way back in March. Early June, I think it was 10 June, we carried out further searches and seizures at two offices of SML. One in Accra, in Osu, and one in Tema. And there, we retrieved computer servers and hard drives that had to be subjected to forensic examination. This work is not done overnight. And it is upon this reason that we informed the Attorney General when we kick-started the extradition process that the dockets had not been bound up yet, because we were waiting for something. At the OSP, we do not talk lightly. We knew what we were waiting for, and we have them fully now.
We stay on this issue. Joining us via Zoom is the legal representative of the former finance minister. He joins us via phone. He's the legal representative of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. That's Frank Davis. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for your time this evening. Now, following this news from the OSP, he painted what's essentially a very bad picture as per the involvement of Ken Ofori-Atta, essentially describing him as being personally and centrally key and involved in pushing this deal, which he, in his words, were needless. What's your reaction to this? What's your client's reaction to this?
Good evening, and a fine one to your cherished listeners and esteemed viewers. In the first place, the point of correction, I am not his legal representative. I am a member of his team of lawyers. So
you're a member of his legal team?
Ofori-Atta's legal representative, yes. So let's get that.
Very well. So you say you're a member of his legal team, yes?
Yes.
Okay, do carry on.
To the question, I cannot bring myself to really appreciate what President Giza is doing. This style of, to condemn accused persons before they have their day in court. Our criminal jurisprudence has not changed. It has been like this from the days of Adam. And it's still like that. An accused person is presumed innocent. The guilt of the accused person will have to be proved beyond all reasonable doubt by the prosecution. And that is done in court. It is proven in court. It is not by standing behind microphones and spewing out long English.
Okay, so Frank Davis, just for purposes of clarity, you say that you're not comfortable with the style adopted by the OSP. Is this, and you're saying that you do not appreciate his style and condemning mentioning that he's condemning. Is it a point of facts being made by the OSP as per his findings? What exactly is your point, please?
Do you want me to answer your questions, or you have set your own questions and you want to answer?
No, do carry on. Do carry on. I'm only asking that you provide clarity.
So when I'm talking, don't truncate me when you're asking your question, please. I think you have to respect my time with you.
Carry on.
I said the dictates of our criminal jurisprudence system have not changed. An accused person is not prosecuted in the court of public opinion. An accused person is prosecuted in court. So you don't come and condemn the accused person before he has his or her day in court. It is as simple as that. It's got nothing to do with style. We have legal conduct ethics which governs all of us as lawyers. The special prosecutor is not a carpenter, he's not a mason. He's not a construction engineer. He's a trained lawyer, and you should know that better. That when you arraign an accused person, you charge him, and then you go to court to prove his guilt. The accused person is under no obligation to establish his innocence. So I don't get this style of the special prosecutor coming. Indeed, once upon a time, we had a special prosecutor in this country. Was Martin Alami the Kaiser? I mean, do not the special prosecutor. Did you see him doing what the special prosecutor is doing? Did you see him doing exactly what the special prosecutor is doing? Coming on radio, holding presses, and saying all kinds of things. So it means what he has said should be taken hook, line, and sinker. And you ask this person, how does my client feel? He feels nothing. Nanaya Kutu Kunuku Kene Kufuyata feels nothing. If the special prosecutor thinks that he has a case against him, he should go to court and prove it. That is his cardinal duty embedded, and not what he's doing. So it's not about style. There's no style in this. Even in established democracies that he wants to copy, they don't do what he's doing. They just read the charges against the accused persons or persons of interest or suspects. They don't go around condemning them as if the case is over. In all of this, how many cases, you people should be asking the special prosecutor, how many cases has he successfully prosecuted in court and gained conviction since he became a special prosecutor? With this time, were we not in this country before?
Right. Now, you seem to still be placing quite a lot of emphasis on the special prosecutor's style. However, let's move beyond that. The special prosecutor highlighted spoke specifically about the extradition, processes for his extradition having been finalized. What's your response and reaction to that? Does your client intend on challenging this extradition process?
Why? The special prosecutor, is it the first time he's talking about extradition? Is this the first time he's talking about extradition? When he said he had issued a red alert notice and Kenokoya that you either come or you will force to defend in this country, is this news? Is this news?
Right, well, we know...
Everybody knows where Kenokoya is.
In that context, I mean, there was some concerns raised about your client's health.
Yeah, but if he says he's going to extradite him into the country, we should bring him. Is this a matter for fun press to come and tell everybody? If he says the processes are completed and that Kenokoyata is going to be brought down, we are all waiting for that day. And you see, let me say this. Let me say this. Kenneth Nanaya Kenokoyata is not scared of criminal prosecution. He is not in the least.
He's not scared of it. Is that what you?
I say he is not scared.
He is not scared of it. Okay.
Of any criminal prosecution in this country. So the special prosecutor should stop this practice. He should stop what he's doing. I mean, if it is guided by our ethics, he will not be doing what he's doing.
Right. So you say that your client is not as scared, but let's touch on the issues of his health. That was a major concern. Is he currently in good health?
My good brother, we moved on from this long ago. I'm
asking you to confirm his health status.
In any event, I am his lawyer. I am not his medical doctor. Okay, so matters concerning his health, I think he should be concerned. We have spoken about this long ago. We have spoken about his health long ago.
We'd have to round it up here. Your point has been clearly made. Thank you for your time this evening. Frank Davis, the member of the legal team of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. That wraps up Insights for tonight. Night here on GHOne TV. Let's turn to some other news this evening. The former Director General of the National Service Authority, Osei Asibe Entry, has been granted bail by the High Court in Accra in the sum of 800 million cedis. This followed his plea of not guilty to 14 counts of charges on Thursday, October 30, comprising 7 counts of causing financial loss, 6 counts of stealing, and 1 count of money laundering. EIB Network's legal affairs correspondent Murtala Inusa has more.
Chief Director of National Service Authority, Osei NP, has made his first appearance at the High Court in Accra, where he pleaded not guilty to 14 counts, in which comprise of stealing, money laundering, and causing financial loss to the state. What the court, presided over by Justice Kizita Nakwa-Kwashi, has directed is that in addition to the bail sum, he is supposed to produce 6 sureties, all of them to be justified with landed properties. He has also been placed on Ghana Immigration Service stop list, where he is unable to travel until the final determination of this case. The court has also ordered that he surrender his passport to the registry of the court. The sureties have also been asked to submit photocopies of the IDs to the court. The court has also asked the accused person to report to the case investigators 3rd Wednesdays each month, where the investigators are also to submit a report of he complying with his orders to the court at the last Wednesday of each month. As we speak, the court has ordered prosecution to file their disclosures, and the case has since been adjourned to December 1, 2025 for case management conference. From the Law Court Complex here in Accra, Natalie, GHOne.
Now, the former Chief Executive Officer of the National Food and Buffer Stock Company, Hanan Abdul Wahab Alu Diba, and his wife Faiza Seidu Wuni have been placed on stop list by the Accra High Court after they pleaded not guilty to theft and laundering of over 78 million cedis in public funds. The order of the court is part of bail conditions granted the couple, who were arraigned on Thursday over the misappropriation of the state funds. Legal Affairs correspondent Murtala Inusa has more.
The former Chief Executive Officer of National Food and Buffer Stock, Hanan Abdul Wahab, has appeared in court where he pleaded not guilty to 24 counts of misappropriation of over 78 million Ghana cedis, which was meant for national exercise. He has been admitted to bail in the sum of 100 million Ghana cedis with 6 sureties. 4 of the sureties, the court said, are to be justified. He has also been placed on the stop list at all entry points. He is also to report to the case investigators once every week. The court has also directed that he places his traveling passports at the registry of the court, and also ensure that anytime the case is up in court, he shows up. His wife has also been granted bail in the sum of 50 million Ghana cedis with 4 sureties. 3 of the sureties are to be justified with landed properties. She has also been placed on stop list. The court, presided over by Justice Audrey Kokuvite, has directed prosecution to file the necessary disclosures, and the case has been adjourned to November 27. Lawyer for the accused persons, Joseph Benka, has this to say moments after the case was adjourned.
My lady has exercised her discretion, looking at the circumstances of the matter, and we are required to comply. She has extended the bail to my client in the sum of 100 million for Hanan and in the sum of 50 million for the wife. It is now incumbent on us to organize ourselves and see how we can meet the bail conditions in the circumstances so they could come from home to face their trial anytime the court is ready. We are grateful that the court extended this magnanimity to us and granted us bail in that sum.
Your prayer for bail was for a lenient bail sum. Does this satisfy what you were looking for?
Well, I would not be able to preliminary comment on whether or not it's manifestly excessive or it is not. Until we are able to meet it or not able to meet it, then we'll go back to the Honorable Court and then indicate whatever it is. But for now, bail has been granted. It is the conditions we are required to meet, and we would try to meet same to secure their temporary pending the trial.
From the Law Court Complex here in Accra, Mutala Inusa, GH1.
You're watching News Tonight. We bring you business news next.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Business this evening, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman says Ghana's economic recovery is not a miracle, but the result of deliberate policy actions aimed at restoring stability and rebuilding confidence. She explained that the country's recent gains are the outcome of fiscal prudence, tighter expenditure controls and disciplined financial management, which continue to anchor Ghana's path to recovery. Speaking at the 14th Ghana Economic Forum organized by the Business and Financial Times in Accra, the Vice President cautioned against short-term policies that undermine long-term growth, stressing that the need to consolidate recent progress.
The cedi will never be as strong as it should be if we continue to export, for example, cocoa beans instead of chocolate, bauxite instead of aluminium, and gold dust instead of jewelry. And we are happy that the Cocoa Board and the Gold Board are leading reforms to fix this. Every stage of processing that happens in Ghana keeps value here, strengthens our city, creates jobs, and adds to our dignity as a people. Our farmers, artisans, and other professionals deserve to see the full reward of their labor at home. Additionally, we must empower small businesses and our youth through training, de-risk lending, and targeted support. We will unlock entrepreneurship and innovation. Stability is not a gift. It is a sign of discipline. It is built on habits such as paying taxes regularly and honestly, producing more than we consume, demanding accountability from all citizens, working together for the common good, and investing in our own capacity to add value.
More business news available on starfm.com.gh. To stay with us, we bring you sports news shortly.
The Business Brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
And you're welcome on to sports. The president of the Scrabble Association in Ghana, Haruna Adamu, has confirmed Ghana is ready to host the World Scrabble Championship in the month of November in Ghana. Now, Ghana has hosted the tournament this year with players coming from all over the world from the 10th to the 16th of this month. November. The event organized by the Scrabble Association of Ghana in partnership with the World Federation. So they should draw around over 250 players from over 40 countries into Ghana next month.
With regards to the numbers, we started working very early. You know, me being an ex-military guy, I don't give chances. Yeah, so I can say we are about 98% there.
Wow.
The 3% is just checks and balances. We have over 26 countries coming. Yes, 26 countries coming in, and what we are left now is countries that needs visa on arrival. Yes, we have about let's say 19. That's the whole squad of the Team USA. Everybody coming.
Wow.
UK coming, Canada coming, Australia, New Zealand. We have Hong Kong, Pakistan, Sri Lanka.
And to football now, where coach Rempomas has vowed to build a title-winning side at Nations FC following his appointment. Now, he has signed a 2-year deal with the club, replacing Kasim Mengel, who was sacked after disappointing start to the ongoing campaign, winning just 2 out of 7 games played so far. Manson, who led BBN Gold Stars, who had historic Ghana Premier League title last season, says he's confident of repeating that success at his new club.
We look at the last 2 seasons. I think nations have always been fighting for the league, and just last season, it took the last 2 games for Gold Stars to win the league. That tells you how serious they are. So for me, yes, we've come also to do our part, to make sure where the team has reached, we also try to make sure we make a mark here in nations. It's not too different. What I believe in is to always try to build a team that is strong enough to win a title, and a team that tries to always play a good football, try to build from the back through the middle and then to the attack.
And that's your sports. Up next is international news.
On the international front, for the first time in 6 years, U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping have met face-to-face, raising hopes on easing tensions between the world's 2 largest economies. The talks held in South Korea were described by President Trump as amazing. Beijing said both leaders reached a consensus on how to resolve major trade issues. While today's meeting didn't produce a formal agreement, both sides signaled progress, suggesting they may be closer to a potential deal. And on that note, we draw the curtains on News Tonight this evening. Many thanks to you for making the time. Lots more news available on our website, starfm.com.gh. It was produced by Bernice Abubedu Lanza. I'm Natalie Fort. Have a restful evening.